Yeah, giddy up. All right, boys and germs, welcome to the crack pit number 3. It should be probably the crack pit number 5, but myself and Lee that were on crack pit number 2 fucked up the recording quite a few times. We spoke for about, which we've told you already, 2.5 hours, and didn't record a fucking thing. But it got us to a point of dementedness where I think some fucking gold emerged. But today it's myself and Alex Changi from CrossFit U, or Functional U in West Melbourne, and we're going to fucking shoot the shit with you today. Giddy up.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm excited. Excited.
Yeah,
I'm just going to change some settings.
No worries.
Monitor off. Okay. We're good to go.
We're good to go. So we have a handful of... Go on, yeah.
No, you carry on. I was just going to tell you my story about how I missed curfew, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, yes. Giddy up. So we've a handful of fucking topics we're going to talk about today. But it's all going to kind of, I suppose, culminate around in a big circle. But Alex, you are fondling around with sandbags at the moment.
Yes. I am fondling some sandbags at the moment.
Yes. Why are you fondling sandbags at the moment?
Why am I? Oh, look, I am really. I guess my reason is I'm really bored of the barbell. But also, I think that the sandbags give you different. They just load different muscles in the body, and I think when you first start CrossFit, you're very much like, I love the barbell. I want to lift as heavy as possible, and then my latest iteration is I want to be as functional as possible for real life. And I feel like the sandbags are, you're not going to get a perfect handle on life. You're not going to get something that's perfectly weighted. And for me, the sandbag is that that object that always changes. Like it's and it's fun. Sometimes you just want to go in a park. We got Karen this morning, by the way. We got weighted. We got weighted. So we have this car park that we go to, which is just behind the house, and we were sitting there. Okay, I'll tell you that story actually. Okay, so we're playing with sandbags behind the house, and there were 3 of us, totally legal because Loz and I were together, and we're just like throwing it up and walking up and down this car park, and then this guy comes on and goes, "Oh no, you can't do that." And like I know the guy because I live next door to this retail store, and I go in and talk to him all the time, and he goes, "Oh no, you can't do that." So we're lifting, we're like, "Whatever, man," and we just keep going. And then he comes out with a phone call with his phone. He's like, "Oh, DHHS, this is like a couple of guys walking around outside without masks on and throwing sandbags, right, and totally legal because I think the sketchy thing was we were in a car park, but half the businesses there weren't working anyway. We weren't really bothering them." And then after that, I was like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not cool. Like, I just can't be bothered with the drama. And then, like, we went to Eads Park, which is the park up the road. But then I thought about it for a while. I was like, hold on. He picked up the phone call to DHHS and called them and was having a chat. And the last time I tried to call DHHS, I was on hold for like 40 minutes. I was like, was he talking? Did he have like Dan Andrews' direct number? Did he like pick up the call? I was like, fuck, that's ridiculous. So I was like, we could have finished our sandbag workout and he probably still would have been on hold, but more power to that dude because he was like, he just played it off so well. He was like, yeah, just there's some guys here with, and I was just like, I don't like trouble.
Yeah.
Just running down through West Melbourne with a fucking sandbag, just like, fuck. And that's real world strength, when you can run away from trouble with your sandbag.
Well, that's it. When you decide to rob a post office or a bank, that's practice. Scuttling down the street
from the elbow, so you get that kick activation.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Jingle bells. That's Dan Andrews, is he? Contacting you, going, yeah. You were in your right. You were.
This is the DHHS.
So, listen, I get people are up in a fucking tizzy at the moment, but also the thing is, like we said, the Karens of the world. What's the male version of the Karen?
Oh, we decided that it was the Wade or the Waynes.
The
I don't
Waynes.
know, we got Waynes.
Okay. Well, isn't it unfortunate? Like, it's just what we actually doing wrong. To be honest, like you were in a car park, tree on like on your own, fucking around a sandbag. You know, are you going to be at that all day? What if you were construction workers moving bags of concrete?
It was hectic. It was like this car park was empty. I'll show you. I'll put a video up later. Empty. There's no one there. Like there's at least 8 slots just up the road, which is like completely empty, just sun shining. And this guy was like, he just came out the back, but they don't actually work out the back at all. So it's just, he literally just came in and was like, I don't like the fact that you guys are in our car park. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Wait till I tell you my fucking Karen story from the start of the lockdown. Yeah, I think I put it up on fucking line when it actually happened. But I live in Spotswood here. Just down the road from my house is a basketball court. Concrete court, basketball hoop, fucking, and down the far end, a netball hoop, the whole shebang. So we got locked down. We were allowed to do outdoor personal training, so that's what I set me and my coaches up to do. But we said we'd go, and because I have this location near my house, we'll go try it out some morning. So I packed my van with a barbell, a couple of plates or whatever. So we emptied all the stuff out on this basketball court. Now on the edge of the basketball court, not in the middle of it, because I assumed if people came along and wanted to play basketball, there was no point in us using the barbell in the middle of the court. A bit of courtesy, I suppose. But anyway, we're doing Olympic weightlifting. Yes, we're dropping the barbell onto concrete. And there's this, well, what I thought at the time was a child over probably about 100 meters, maybe less than 100 meters away from us. And they were jumping on the trampoline, like a child's trampoline, because there's the playground right beside the basketball court. And they just, every so often they'd stop and just be staring directly over at us. But we passed no heed. Anyway, it wasn't a child, it was a grown adult, because they made their way
Karen.
over, yeah, fucking Karen. They made their way over behind us. And I said, oh, it's a woman. It's a woman with glasses and short hair. So, whoopsie, I mistook it for a child. Well, because obviously jumping on the trampoline, I just assumed, and it was quite a distance away. Anyway, I just say hello because there was already one guy that walked past us that morning, and he was like, oh, are you doing personal training? Can I get involved? So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to be my own marketing here. I'm just going to say hello to everyone that walks by. So I said, oh, morning, how's it going? And she said, oh, should you be doing that there? I'm like, sorry, what? She said, yeah, should you not be doing that on the grass? Oh, you mean lifting the weights and dropping it on the grass? I said, well, we could, but the barbell will probably sink into the ground and it'll be very unstable under our feet, and we're doing Olympic weightlifting. Well, I wasn't going to go into the details, but she said, oh, you know what, like, you might break the concrete. And I was like, oh god, okay, here we go. I reckon the concrete will be okay.
I have broken concrete, by the way. With I'll get to that story later, but I have broken concrete with bumper plates.
Oh, have you?
Our old gym, we were like slamming bars. You know when I used to lift real heavy? Like,
yeah, oh yes.
And there was a place that I really liked snatching, and we used to always drop it on the same spot. Yes. And it was a pretty shitty concrete though. And we just had a comment that apparently it's called Darren's.
Oh, Darren's. Okay,
Darren's.
well.
Darren's.
Karens and Darren's. Okay, Nell. But anyway, she proceeded to tell me, because obviously the bar was dropping and making noise, that it's a bit noisy. And I was like, oh well. She said, it's a bit noisy at this time of the day, and I'm like, well, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's a playground.
It's not playing your Russian hard bass, mate. It's not appropriate.
Yeah, maybe that was
11 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Maybe that was
okay.
I was like, if people are pissed off that I'm making noise at 11 o'clock, well, I'm awfully sorry, but really and truly they should be up and about by now. And she was like, well, we've had problems here in the past. I was like, well, what? People playing basketball. I'm like, what? Hold the fucking show. I'm like, it's a basketball court. What's the problem? Oh, the tud of the basketball. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, love. I didn't say now what I'm about to say, but I was like, go fuck yourself. Go fucking fuck yourself. I was like, this is a basketball court. That's what happens on a basketball court. Oh yes, well,
Common sense is not common sense, man. There's no sense in common sense, I think.
Oh, stop! And I just proceed. Listen, we're going to be here only for another 20 minutes more, and then we're gone. And we'll be off the basketball court then, and it'll be 20 past 11. Job done. And she was like, "Oh yeah, okay, all right, okay." But it was like, what the absolute fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I should have. Listen, you were on a kid's trampoline, and there's a weight bearing load of only like fucking 40 kilos, and you fucking hopping up and down on it, Karen. Fucking Karen. What the fuck?
Man, my Asian respect for old people, like I'm just like oh, I can't badmouth an old person.
Yeah.
But I want
Well,
to.
this one, she wasn't even old. She was like, I'd say she was in her mid 40s.
Yeah.
This
is my. And I was talking to Loz about this before. The problem currently is that no one, like our country is being run by people who don't understand health and fitness, and I think this is going to be raw. Like, and you have them communicating to people in a way that they will understand. So you're not really communicating to, like, in the same way that you try to explain to her that, yeah, my bumper plates are rubber, they're probably going to be bouncing off those things. Like, you could probably start talking about the density of the concrete, because I've poured concrete before and I know that there's different densities and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you can't explain it to her. So if you're a politician, you're trying to explain fitness to her, you just be like, you just give them the basic, like, you just almost pander to the stupidity. So instead of saying that, you could probably exercise and like eat healthy and increase your immunity by doing all these things, you just be like, don't go to the gym. Don't go to the gym. It's a dangerous place. And everyone's like,
yeah.
And you could probably go into like, it's rubber plates, it's fucking hard concrete, it's bouncing off. She's like, no, it's gonna break. It's gonna break. And you're like, yep, okay, fine, whatever, I'm out. I'm out of here in 20 minutes, bitch. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We are like delivering these really simplistic ideas because we're real stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, side bitch. I had to bring up COVID, and I really wanted to talk more about that stuff, but we won't.
Yeah. Oh, listen. It's the topic on everyone's lips at the moment, because there is fuck all else. There's fuck all else to talk about. If you were back in Ireland a couple of years ago before COVID, you'd be talking about how bad the weather was, how little you've been paid, and how bad the weather was. That's what you go to any pub anywhere at any time. That is your topics of conversation. Now it's changed. Now people talk about COVID. So for most places around the world, it's the one topic everyone has an opinion on, for sure.
Okay, you got me. So this is my thing. This is what I said to Loz. And it was more that I feel like at the moment, the people that we think are like the mavens of health are doctors and nurses. But I don't think that's completely true, because I'm going to say, and I'll put it out there and people fucking be like, unlike, is that I think coaches like myself and yourself and everyone else, we get more people healthy than a fucking doctor and nurse will ever do it. But you only go to a doctor and nurse when you're all fucked up and sick. So, but the problem is we're now looking at statewide health and all that kind of stuff, and we're being run by the CHO, the Chief Health Officer. And I don't know. Like, I know a couple of healthy doctors and nurses, but a lot of them aren't healthy, But so there's, like, we have more. I'm not saying that like they have their role. I get it, but we have our role as well. But I think that at the moment, the well-being of the state is being controlled by people who probably, I didn't think health is the word, like unsickness, not fucked upness, like if you're healthy, you're moving. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's exactly the best definition of health, which is, I can always go back to like Greg Glassman's definition of health, which is, like it's a continuum. You've got sickness, you've got healthness, if it was healthness, and then you've got fitness, like you have to go through that. If you're getting fucked up by COVID, like I'm not pretty sure you weren't very much in the fitness continuum of things, 100%. And every media example that I see, they find someone who's like, they don't look not healthy, like that. There was an example of that nurse. There was this nurse in America who got COVID, and he was like bulked up and shit. and then he got COVID, and then later on he like lost all his muscle mass and all that kind of shit. And I was like, this dude was like at a festival probably dropping eckies, and his immunity was probably, you know, through the shitter. And then he got COVID, and then he got fucked up. Like, I don't know, I'm speaking out of line, but I feel like the definitions of health in our society isn't like, it's not healthy.
No, it's construed in all sorts of weird ways. Everyone has a different definition of health at the moment. Like mine and your definition of health is going to be very different to the way people are if they're listening to the media that's going out nowadays, and it's going to be very different. Like they are being told to stay inside, to, you know, only go outside for an hour a day, and that this is the thing that they're going to do to protect. And
that's probably what happened to Darren this morning, you know, like
yeah,
he was
exactly.
He probably, like, in my mind, and this is the thing I have to always kind of remind myself of, is like my mum was going, she was afraid to go outside, and I get it, but this guy's probably like, fuck, there's this Asian dude outside, and he's putting COVID everywhere. There's probably COVID in his sandbags. And I'm like,
oh fuck! Oh, we've opened the racism door now again, have we?
It's happening though, man. It's like, you know, and I get, like, even normal people, man. Like normal people, you can hide racism and whatever you want, but nationalism and whatever. But there's definitely got to be some resentment against Asian people.
I know we're seeing a lot of that stuff on the news. There was a lot of attacks, but I don't know. I don't hear about that stuff happening anymore. All I see and hear about is the people that are protesting, and then the horses coming in or the police coming in on horseback, fucking dispensing them like Skittles from a bowling ball. Like that's all we're seeing now. It ain't attacking ethnic groups anymore. It's just suppression of
the tinfoil.
Suppression of society. Oh, fuck the conspiracy theorists.
Anyway, we got to go back to health, because I just wanted to drop that bomb that I feel like we're not, like, health isn't really a consideration. It's more like not sick.
Yeah.
Let's just say not sick.
But yeah, but what is healthy? Like, you know, healthy to me is someone that eats well, eats within a certain relative number of calories, isn't a fucking super saint all the time, enjoys a drink here and there, but 80% of the time is eating a whole food diet, cooking their own meals, going to the greengrocer, buying fucking from the butcher, and produce, like, if they're living in the city, it's fucking hard to produce your own food, but maybe growing a few bits and pieces themselves. But if not, doesn't matter, you can still go to the supermarket, not buying processed food, maybe having a burger at the odd time. They don't necessarily have a gym membership, but they're active, and they're active in their work. They're active if they don't have activity in their work, like a tradie or someone that's on their feet, like a nurse or something like that. Then they're active outside of their work. If they have a secondary job, they go walking, they go running, they go swimming, they go kayaking. You know, they have spear fishing. They have hobbies outside of their bubble, we'll say. So your bubble can be where you live and where you work, and the people who you interact with very closely, but then they have other stuff, and they do something for their minds, which is, I think we touched on it the last time, it's a distraction from your bubble. Because if you're just waking up, eating, going to work, going home, eating again, going to sleep, and just doing that on repeat, that's fucked up. Because that is this endless cycle of a monotony where your mental health will go out the fucking window. Then all of a sudden you're going to be eating shit food because you don't feel as motivated. Then it slowly collapses. So you can have that cycle of stuff that happens on a daily basis, but every so often within a day, maybe twice in a day, there's little offshoots where you go for a walk with people that you don't work with, or you go for a bit of a run, or you fucking go spear fishing, or you go rock climbing, or whatever you used to do when we weren't fully locked down. That to me is health, because it's more about your mind than it is about your body. You don't have to look like a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger or a fucking CrossFit chick to be healthy. Sometimes that's not healthy. Sometimes those people are the most unhealthy people. But if your mind is clear and your ducks in a row, and you're doing your general stuff, that to me is health. What do you think?
What I think is healthy
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting when you start asking like what is the markers of health, and I've often tried to to answer this, like other questions you'd ask is like how strong is too strong, what are we working for in all our training, and I feel like you're healthy enough to do what you want to do, like you're not, it just depends what you want to do, like for me, like healthy is if someone goes, hey, do you want to go snowboarding tomorrow at the drop of a hat, I could be like, yeah, sick. And I'm not gonna just be able to do one day of snowboarding. I might be able to do 3 or 4 days of snowboarding, so that's, yeah, it's just, you're fit for purpose. But I think that we are, and this is why this is probably like really kind of defeatist and stuff, but I feel like our society is just doomed for this. We're doomed to be taken over by robots or the apes, because at some point the way that we're traveling is that we are pushed, and this is the whole society thing, is that we have deferred our, like, if I was Dan Andrews and if I was like a politician, yeah, for sure, that the only thing I would think of is a vaccine. It's the silver bullet that you just go, give me your bumhole and then you fix everyone, because it's too difficult to try and give people back the responsibility for their health. Because if you give people responsibility for their health, and it's almost like we don't need it anymore, because like you can sit on the computer, you don't even have to move. Like when you're like we're in lockdown, everyone's like, oh, it sucks, but you can still get Korean fried chicken. You can still get, and like it's. So yeah, I think health is what you want from your life, and if you're fit for purpose. But I think a lot of that purpose is gone. Like the fact that we have to tell people, hey, go get your 10,000 steps. It's crazy. Like like when, if you try to explain immunity to people, like immunity is your body's ability to fight off foreign things. I'm not a doctor, right? But when I was in Kathmandu, the healthiest people that I saw weren't the people putting Purell all over their fucking hands every meal. It was the kids that were walking around in chicken shit, Now, if you have too much chicken shit, you're probably going to get really fucking sick. But in the right doses, this is good. Now, you can't explain that. You can't put that as a public policy. You can't put that as a, all right, guys, get a little bit dirty, like,
yeah, I know.
Like
this guy's a charlatan.
Yeah,
he's a hippie.
And it's like, ideas are really powerful, but they're not always, which goes back to what we were going to talk about today, which was like restrictive diets, is that you can sell an idea and ideas will work for a while, but then at some point you need to take it to being less of an idea and maybe more about knowledge and understanding. And I think your man Julian Pineau talks about this, that when you move from having the student relationship, is that what he talks about? Like the student-teacher relationship, to being someone who's like quite paternal to a person, to that person, to both people exploring and understanding themselves, Yeah. I think that's what he talks about. I don't know. You have to, like, he's just really eloquent in how he says it.
Yeah, he's a good way of putting things, but it's what to kind of shorten it down. Like Julian is a fitness mentor of mine, and obviously yours a bit as well. You followed a fair bit from him, but I suppose to boil it down to a sentence, how he will coach or teach us or me, or how I've been taught. He's like, I will take you to the top of the mountain, but I'm not fucking carrying you.
Yeah.
So he wants the idea of it, and the way he would teach us, if I remember correctly, and it's the way I like it as well. It's like he doesn't make us dependent on it. The way you have sometimes clients where they question everything, even the simplest things. Like if you give them as much information as you feel is necessary for them to get through a workout. Okay, this is the A's, this is the B's, this is the C's. Now go at it. Now before they've even attempted something, they're asking more questions. But you're asking questions without even attempting something first. So you need to become more aware of yourself, more aware of what you're doing. Does that feel right to you? Does that does it look right to you? And if it's not, well, then let's question it. But question yourself first. Why am I not feeling this correctly? You know, and he wants you to become a more aware student. So then you won't need your sensei anymore, because you are so aware of yourself and how you're doing things. And this is not only in fitness, but it's in fucking life. You know, you're aware of what you're doing, so you can make your next decision smarter. Will it be the right one? Probably yes, probably no. Who gives a fuck?
I still don't know what I'm doing.
That's okay. But like, what do they always say? The more mistakes you make, the better you fucking... What is it? You make more mistakes. I don't know where...
The person who's successful just made more mistakes than you.
That's what I tried to say.
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta fuck up a lot, because the more you fuck up, the more you learn. If you're always winning, what are you actually learning? You because people just celebrate wins, but when you fuck up, you look and you're like, how did that go wrong for me there now? And then you will learn something from that. So if you're always winning through life, well, good luck to you. Happy days. I'm delighted for you.
Yeah, I'm not a winner. I know some people who are. They just seem to win all the time. Bastards.
Yeah, I know. But
Darren's a winner.
Fuck Darren. But yeah, it is what it is.
Off that topic.
Yeah, we're done with that. We'll move on. We'll roll on.
Moving on.
Yeah. Will we go on to what we're going to talk about with the dieting and stuff like that?
Ooh, naughty.
This is a hectic one now. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there. I'm no fucking nutritionist. I don't know about you, Alex, but all I know is a little bit of common sense, I suppose.
I don't think you need a nutritionist per se. Do you need to be a scientist that understands oil and petrol when you put petrol in your car? Yeah, you just need to not be a dumbass and don't overfill it, you know?
Yeah.
You need to know whether it's 91, 96 or diesel.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, don't fuck that up.
Don't do what one of my fucking members done twice in a week, put diesel into his petrol car. Fuck. Tom LaGrice, if you're listening, I've called you out.
Which is cheaper? Fuck
yes.
Give me that one.
Yeah. Fill her up. Yeah, but I made a couple of posts over the last week or two on my Facebook regarding restrictive dieting and giving examples around restrictiveness. And I suppose the point I was trying to make is people jump on diets probably not fully understanding them. They'll see one of their friends do a vegan diet, doing paleo, doing ketosis or ketogenic diet, or that's when you're in. Ketosis is when you're in. Oh fuck it, never mind. Yeah. But they'll have heard about someone and they're like, oh fucking Karen has lost fucking 10 kilos in 10 days doing this fucking whatever diet. I'm gonna give it a crack. But hold on now. Why was Karen doing it in the first place? And I'm not, pick the name Karen now. Karen.
Darren. How's Karen Darren?
Well, like, why has Karen done that in the first place? Has Karen started the paleo diet because she has figured out that she has some sort of an intolerance to food? Like, she has an intolerance to grains and she's slowly eliminating foods, because that's the thing what paleo was, first of all. It's about balancing your hormones. And if you've some issues with grains and wheats and whatnot, you remove them from your diet. And people have had great results, but it was a health thing first. It wasn't a fat loss thing. It was about, I need to get my body back on track. And then there was other people who were like, oh, fucking the CrossFit scene jumped on it. Let's go caveman with paleo. And it kind of took off, and then people kind of started using it as a weight loss thing. And then I don't know, it's still out there. It's still a diet protocol that's followed. But that guy that kind of pushed it, Rob Wolf, has even altered it. Remember him? Yeah.
He is the OGs of CrossFit.
The OGs of the Paleolithical diet. He has even retracted some of the things from his original book and said, yeah, listen, at the time it was right, but now I understand that it's different to what I thought. So like, understand if you're gonna.
But that's how you sell books as well. I feel like you've also got to understand that that's like a lot of that shit is. If I was to create a book called the the kind of diet, and it was like the common sense diet, you know, like maybe see how you feel with this. Maybe you don't eat so much. Like these are the principles of, you know, it doesn't sell. Like it doesn't sell.
You know, do you know there's a diet out there that is a fucking common sense diet and it's been there for fucking years? The Zone Diet, Barry Sears.
Okay.
Man, I used to, when I was on the cruise ships like 12, 13 years ago, we used to sell this detox supplement and a fucking, what was the other thing? A fitness plan and nutritional plan. And the nutritional plan was this block system, which was Barry Sears. And all it was pretty much an early version of tracking your macros. There was no elimination of any foods. You could eat whatever the fuck you want, but there was blocks of protein, there was blocks of carbohydrates, there was blocks of fats. You were eating peanut butter, you were eating bread, you were fucking having beer, there was fucking meat in there was vegetables, there was spuds, there was everything. There was nothing off limit. There was like, I can remember because it was in America, I was working it out, and there was like peanut butter, jelly, Oreos. They were all in this fucking diet as well. It just had to fit into your blocks, pretty much like people track their macros nowadays. And it's just common fucking sense. Don't be a fucking dickhead when you're eating. Don't overeat. And the blocks kept you within a kind of within a bracket of what you could have for your protein, carbs, and fats. Magic. And that's been around for fucking, I think that book came out maybe 20, 25 years ago. And the stuff is still relevant today. We're still doing.
I feel like you should self-restrict based on your own ideas rather than someone else's ideas.
Yes.
Because I think that's the thing. Where like you are taking personal responsibility for what you put in your mouth, and you know, at 36, I think I'm 36. I keep forgetting. I'm still kind of figuring that stuff out. You know, like probably shouldn't eat so much broccoli anymore because I fart like a beast on broccoli.
Exactly, and it's, you know, broccoli is classed as a healthy food, but you eat too much fucking broccoli, you're single for the rest of your life.
Dude, my broccoli farts were hectic. But there wasn't even that, bro. They were like full symphonies.
Oh,
like
Jesus!
I was like, oh. It's almost comical at one point. Like they weren't stinky, you know. They aren't like stinky ones, but they were fairly impressive.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, you got to figure it out yourself. Like I'm all for people trying something. Like fucking go for paleo, try it. Go for keto, try it. Go for fucking be a vegan, try it. See how it works for you. But understand that, you know, you gotta, if you're gonna go, give it a go. Give it a solid crack. Don't be in and out, you know, vegan. Oh, you know, I'll be vegan during the week, but at the weekend I'm having a burger. No, it doesn't fucking work like that, buddy. You know, and the same way with ketosis. Like, you can't fucking decide to fucking eat chips at the weekend because, like, you know, oh, I just fucking love some, you know, some carbohydrates. You know, like it doesn't work that way. You got to give it a solid crack and figure out what works for you. Stan Everstein used to say this the whole time, or used to. He's still alive. He says this: compliance is the science. Every diet works as long as you stick to it. Compliance is the science. Simple, you know. And the way I try and work with people now, and I think you're similar, is just fucking eat normal food. But what's normal to people? They're like, oh fuck, I don't really know what normal is. And fucking normal might be KFC and Hungry Jacks and fucking pizza at the weekend. Okay, well, you can still eat those foods, and you can probably lose weight. But if you restrict your calories to a certain amount for your current body weight and sex and age and height, we'll get you to lose weight. Is that the healthiest food you can put in your body? Probably not. It's like putting, you know, diesel into a petrol car. It'll run, but not as well as it should. But you can still eat pizza. You can still have burgers, but we just slowly add in over time different foods. Like make a steak now and again. Fucking have some rabbit food. Do you know, it's up to you. But you can still lose weight on a shitty diet as long as you're not overeating is the blood and guts of it.
Yeah, I think awareness, adjustment, and then accountability is the you know, is probably the key. You know, if you're not aware of it, then you probably can't adjust it, and then you can't adjust it if no one's going to be like booting your ass booting you in the bumhole for not, you know.
That's right.
But it's complicated, man. Like it's that's a very simple idea, and you know, we've been doing the nutrition thing at the gym probably as part of the program, and I'm saying the gym loosely because we haven't been open for the last year.
Yeah.
But you know, you do all these nutrition courses, and you try and figure out all the fucking, you know, all the different body types and all the things that all the vitamins that are in all these things, and at the end of the day, you're just like, it just comes down to, hey man, what are you eating? Yeah. Oh, yep, cool. Go into online, figure out how much they should be eating based on what they're doing and how much they're exercising. Okay, well, let's just log this stuff, because if I gave you a meal plan and you're struggling with motivation to get to the gym, there's no chance in hell you're going to stick to the meal plan. Like, I think all the other things that are, what I like someone's come up to me about having, you know, getting shakes before, and I'm like, yeah, cool, you know, like if you need something that takes out that element of, and this is where I maybe don't disagree. I don't always completely agree with everyone on like restrictive diets or shakes or whatever, is that I remember when it's just what works for you and what your goals are. But like, we're always, as health coaches, always kind of like, or fitness coaches, I don't know, it sounds wanky, but we're always trying to impart our knowledge on people, you know, like we want you to be able to understand yourself and be a better human being. But really, if it's just someone's trying to shred for their wedding, I'm like, fuck yeah, go on the shakes. Because like, I remember there was a coach in London who was like, Chongi, you're a fat ass. You have a shitty relationship with food, and you've got to re-establish your relationship. Like, he was just this hard ass like endurance coach, and he's like, you have to go. Was it vertical diet? No, not the vertical diet. It was something else. Anyway, it was this diet that all you had was shakes. Like, you just got protein shakes all the time. But it did kind of recalibrate myself, like, because I just had this thing with every time I finished training, I need to have some food. Every time it was 10 o'clock, I needed to have some food. And then I went on this diet, which was a shake diet, and it just totally changed the way I look at food. Like, food's like, I was allowed one meal a week, which wasn't shakes.
What?
1 meal a week, which wasn't shakes. And I was like, oh. But I think we generally, like, this is kind of a big meta discussion. Like, I've done all the diets you've talked about, and like, now the understanding is it goes awareness, accountability, whatever. But I don't think it's good for us to force, if someone's got a goal in mind and they just want to get shredded for their wedding, I'm like, well, the fastest way for you to probably do it is just drink salt water and go for long, slow walks and just not eat anything for, you know, the longest fast is 360 days. But is that something that it's going to help you later on down the track? Probably not. But yeah, so I'm really on the camp of like, it depends. It depends what the person wants to do, like compliance, you know, what their mental attitude is at the time. And yeah, so I don't know, like, I wish I had that answer, you know, like the keto diet is the best diet or the paleo diet is the best diet, but it just all depends on what your goals are, who you are as a person. Yeah. My solution is don't be a fat cunt in the first place. But you know, through
that, I know.
Some of us aren't genetically gifted like yourself.
Yeah, I know, but some fucking people eat like arseholes as well. Like, you know, it's.
See, like the keto diet's not good for me because I love fat. Like, I can smash chicken thighs all day long. Like, I'm at 5,000 calories. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's when it comes down to, like, you know, someone wanting to lose weight for their wedding and you know, wanting the quick fix, that's a problem with our industry. There's so many offers of the quick fix that people believe, okay, well, I can leave it till the last minute to lose all this weight because I've 6 weeks to my wedding, or if I've 3 months to my wedding and I need to lose 20-30 kilos. I can do this because I've seen it everywhere else, and I've seen all the promises and 6 weeks abs and 4 week fucking anal injections. I don't know what the fuck, whatever they're called, but it's that's what I hate about our industry, because it's bullshit. It's all these promises, and even with some of these diets, they have been twisted into, you know, quick fixes as well. these are all legitimate ways to get healthy, legitimate nutritional protocols to improve you as a human. But they've been manipulated and battered down and twisted and packaged up as this wonder drug or wonder pill or wonder diet that will you start this and in 3 weeks you're going to be fucking Slim Jim and happy days. But the reality is your life is a constant battle with what's around you, with your internal stuff. I think a lot of people don't just wake up in the morning and they're fat. And people just don't wake up in the morning and decide, oh, I want to be fat and start eating. It's normally some shit that's happened in your life. A ridiculous breakup, a childhood traumas, like something that you're a pan-fucking-demic, some sort of trauma. Yeah. Some sort of trauma has happened in your life somewhere along the line where you've decided to self-sabotage, and that might be you turning to the fucking to the cakes, or fucking secluding yourself away, isolating yourself away from the rest of the world, and just being like, this is me, this is what I'm going to do, and you're moving away from the person that you want to be. And then because there's always that thing in the back of your mind that, oh, you know, if I want to change, I can. If I want, it's easy. But then you try and you're like, oh, fuck, this is a lot harder than I thought. And what happens? You slip back down the fucking rabbit hole. And the next time you go further down, you go further away from it. Now, you do that in repeat for about 30 years. Like, you ain't going to be fucking losing that weight in 6 weeks or 6 months or even a fucking year. It's going to fucking take time. It's psychological warfare that you're playing then. It's not about the battle with the food or the fridge or the convenience. It's like, it's you slipping back down into the comfortable zone where you're familiar, where you're happy. Because at the moment, the person you want to be seems so fucking far away that to even take one step in that direction is unfamiliar territory. And a lot of don't want to take that step. Because they're afraid. They're comfortable in their own. It's not the uncomfortable in their uncomfortableness. It's they're comfortable where they are, and it's, you know, they can hide away, and they can put a shield of food up there, and, oh, this makes me feel better. That dopamine rush. I feel good. Oh, I feel bad again. You know, more whatever it is that giving me that dopamine rush. So that's the cycle we got to break. Fuck the quick fix things.
How do you break it?
With a fucking sledgehammer, Alex, with a fucking sledgehammer. Sometimes people have to be told the fucking extreme truth and be like, motherfucker, how long did it take you to gain that weight? Oh, 4 years. So when you were 4 years ago, you were a certain weight, you were where you were. What happened back then?
Yeah, but I can't sell the 6-month COVID shred program, all right? God.
You can, if you get to the root cause to why that person is unhappy the way they are. Because it's not, you're not going to tell someone they need to lose weight because they're going to be healthy. That means nothing. You got to bring a person to where their fucking pain is, and understand why that pain is there, and then get them to make the fucking decision that they want to make that change.
Yeah, wow.
So that's what it is. It's fucking the gym's not open at the moment is not the problem. It's people's fucking pain.
Oh, we're leading into waiting for the gym to open. Dang.
Yeah.
Good segue.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've done this.
Yeah, and I think it always goes down to mindset. Like, you know, why are you doing things? And purpose. You know, purpose is huge. Yeah. But, you know, it all comes down to, I think there's so many dials that you can fiddle with. You know, like, are you someone who's goal driven? Are you someone who's task driven? You know, if I think, like, if that person who was, if losing weight was easier than stuffing your face, we'd all be shredded, you know. Like, it's so easy to get a hold of food now, you know. So and food has been hacked to make us eat more. So look, I think it's a lot of it is a stack. Like, there's a lot of cards stacked against people, but, you know, you've got to look at the mindset of why people are doing certain things, you know, and you know, from that point of view, you can attack it from, you know, finding pain is probably more motivating than, you know, if you look at kind of behavioral psychology and stuff, you know, where like pain is probably more motivating than pleasure, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, stop the pain from happening rather than here you can be super happy. We're all more averse to like losing something than gaining something. So if I'm like, hey, and as an example, like, hey, I'll give you $1 million to lose weight, it's probably less motivating than, hey, I'm going to take your house away if you don't lose weight.
Absolutely.
You're probably more motivated from that point of view. But waiting for the gym to open. Are you waiting for the gym to open, bro? I am. I'm waiting 6 months. But I'm doing other stuff as well.
The wait continues. Like, that's the big question. The most common question I've been asked by my clients and by other people that are looking to join the gym. My thing is, what are you waiting for? And that's, if anyone's seen my daily crack today, I went off a little bit on people. It's like,
Did you get angry?
Nah,
I'm not angry.
No, you know me. I don't get angry.
Yeah.
Just get like
a little bit angry. A little bit prickly.
A little bit prickly.
A little bit thorny.
Yeah, but listen, the gyms will reopen, but the reason, or what am I saying? People. Well, no, they will, but it's going to be a fucking long time before they're back to the normal way they were. A fucking long time, where people can just walk in at their own accord and just train whenever they want. That's a long way off.
People inside doing heavy stuff and working physically, like construction.
Like exactly. Like fuck.
We're only spending an hour in a confined space. Those guys spend all day. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on now.
Where's the realism? Where's the fucking realism? I know. Anyway, dude, that's another argument for another day. Yeah. But I think at the moment, I've come across this a lot. People asking about the gym because they're waiting for the gym to open so they take action, and that's bollocks. Like you're removing the responsibility from yourself and you're putting it onto an inanimate, a distant object, and it allows you to blame the system that you're gaining weight or that you're not healthy or you're not fit. Oh well, I couldn't because the gym isn't open. Bull fucking shit. You've got 2 pins under your hips that allow you to move around and be active, and you can walk if you don't want to run.
So what's your I think part of the problem is people are waiting for an answer, but what is the instead of, I feel like what's your suggestion for people to, because I think when you say just do something, that's quite broad, that's quite, what are your thoughts on what someone should do every day to go back to what we talked about at the start, be healthy,
yeah. Well, the number one thing is that most people are lacking is being outside in the sunshine to get vitamin fucking D.
Oh, and speaking of vitamin D, I'm just going to grab supplements.
Yeah, get it into you. Like that is my number one. My number one simplest thing, and I don't give a shit if it's just you standing on your balcony for 10 minutes facing into the sun, or you actually go to the park or whatever the fuck.
It's so funny. Guys, get outside.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing because I used to work in the corporate world, and it's taken like 36 years to figure this stuff out. You go outside.
Just fucking go outside. That's so underestimated. Like that's your, you getting up in the morning, getting out for a quick walk, even if it's overcast. There's still there's UV rays coming down through those clouds hitting you. That's number one, resetting your circadian rhythm so you're going to get a better night's sleep that night. Number two, you're absorbing that vitamin D, which is going to boost your immune system. Apparently, vitamin D as well is is the UV rays actually fucking kills COVID dead if it's in the fucking air. Now, I'm not the one that's fucking saying that's fact, but it boosts your immune system. Vitamin D boosts your immune system. That's one step to being healthier.
Bro, you're gonna be a conspiracy theorist soon, mate. They're gonna.
Why? What am I? How? No. How is this a conspiracy theory? I'm just. This
we need
nothing.
Vaccines. We need vaccines.
This has nothing to do with COVID. This is what people should be doing anyway. Fucking 10 years ago, fucking 10 years from now. You get outside. It's a stupid statistic that fucking over 70% of Melburnians are vitamin D deficient. And then it's even higher over in the States. It's like fucking almost 80% of the Americans the Americans are vitamin D deficient. And why is that? Because people do nothing but go from where they live into a car, get to an office space, stay inside, get back into a car, drive home. If they get any sun exposure during the day, they're lucky. They're lucky. And there's a few food groups that we have that contain vitamin D, but the best way to get it is to get sun exposure itself. You know? So that's my number one thing. That's my first step for fucking being healthy.
I feel like though being healthy is, it's such a, I said, I like kind of copped out, like it's fit for purpose, but really, if we were to look at a product of what we're selling as fitness coaches, it's, it's getting abs, it's having biceps, it's being shredded, that's the shit that we sell, is walking. People are waiting for this. Like, if people went to the gym and the gym was just, would make you look like a fat slob, but you were healthy, people wouldn't go. Like, people go there because they have this idea. Now, people are waiting because they're like, all of us are getting a little COVID thick. Now, you've said walking, but I don't think walking is really going to get people to, people want that answer. So walking's one thing. I think walking is definitely the baseline. Yeah. But what's the, people want to get thicker, like not like winter thick, but muscle thick. Like, what can someone do to get thicker, to get muscle thick, to get toned? I'm gonna use that word. Yeah. Like, I'm not getting into that word. Like, I think like the coaches are like, oh, someone wants to get toned. That's like losing fat a bit. Like, fuck it. Someone wants to get toned, let them get toned. But what can someone do to build muscle while gyms aren't open?
Okay, well,
what are the principles?
The principles. Well, walking isn't going to tone you up, but you can walk yourself lean. That is for sure. But if you want to, basically, so the principles of building muscle are, tone is building muscle. That's what tone is. You're putting extra muscle on your body so it looks better. It's sculpting. So how do we build muscle? We put that muscle under tension. How can we do that without a gym? We gotta, if it's a chest muscle, we gotta push something away, like the ground. If it's the leg muscles, we gotta squat down to the bottom of the squat and stand back up again. Do those sort of things multiple times. Then we can add some sort of a weighted or resistance device, like a rubber band or a fucking sandbag.
Kayak.
Kayak. Listen, how do, like, I'm from a farm back at home. My dad is 70 years of age. If you fucking shake his hand, he'll fucking break your hand. And it's not that he's trying to break your hand, it's because his fucking grip is so strong. Now, he doesn't go to the gym. How is he so strong?
Farm strong, because he's moving his body. He's lifting odd objects all the time. Heavy things, light things, misshapen things. He works with machinery. He has developed his own strength, and he's lean. He's like me, but just a few grey hairs. That's all. So we can take that same principle. We define our fitness by that, like, hour we spend in the gym, or that what we do to develop muscle and whatnot. We have to work very, very hard. But if you were to reduce that amount of work or reduce that intensity, got someone at the door. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, you keep going. I'll keep talking. Remove that amount of it and just work like a farmer. Hello? Do small loads often. You're going to get stronger. You're going to build muscle, because there's no way you're not. You're putting this repetitive stress on the muscle fibers on the body that requires change. If you don't put stress on the body in some way, shape or form, it won't change. It won't adapt. So that's what we do, and that's what we do when we're in the gym, and that's the reason why we lift weights, and that's there's certain protocols that we have to take to make the muscle strong, but we're applying stress and resistance to that muscle in order to make it bigger and stronger, so we can do bigger and heavier loads the next time. And that's kind of your bodybuilding 101. So the gym isn't open. With your squats, with your walks, you're doing squats. You gotta drop your ass to the ground and stand fucking back up. So if you've not done squats before, you're gonna start like just doing body weight squats. in a week or two's time, 100 bodyweight squats, 200 bodyweight squats is going to be easy because you've already adapted. Then you add some weight, you add a fucking sandbag, you add fucking rubber bands. It is what it is. So that's my 101.
Who's that?
Oh, it's just the delivery.
You just
Yeah.
you just start moving. Just start moving, but not just walking. Fucking do pull-ups, do push-ups, do squats. Job done.
Okay. So what's the because I think that's always been one of the challenges is delivering the stimulus to someone's mind. You know, what are they trying to feel? And I think for like, you know, like is it hard? Do something hard every day.
Yeah.
You know, that's challenging.
Shit, yeah. None of this stuff is easy. It's all going to be challenging, but it's are you up for it? Are you ready? Because if you want to make a change but you're not up for the challenge, well then you're not ready. Like don't waste people's time. Pretty much, fucking get up and get about it, because I can bring you to the. I can bring a horse to water. I can bring you to the water, but I can't fucking make you drink. So it's like we can create the best package in the world. We can have the fucking fanciest gyms in the world, but that doesn't mean a motherfucker's going to go in there and do the fucking work that's required. It's on the person, and
people were getting lean and strong before CrossFit.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Before barbells, they were still getting fit and strong. Milo, the story of Milo, you know.
Tell that story.
Oh, it's just I don't know. I've got a pretty shit telling you the story, but it's just this Greek dude that just kept lifting his bull. Bull kept getting bigger. He getting more jacked.
That's exactly
Find
it.
a bull, guys. Find a bull.
Put him on your shoulders and walk for a quarter mile. Yeah, walk for a quarter mile.
Quarter mile. Sweet. Love it.
Yeah. So
Well, I think that's the thing, right? Like everyone's waiting for the gyms to open, but no one, you know. I think that's where the value of having a coach is. You know, I've had coaches all like information's free, and like right now I'm telling everyone, you know, like I can wrap this all up in an idea, guys. And people will get strong. This is what I used to get kind of just hung up on, is trying to create that perfect program for someone, all that kind of stuff. But it's not about creating a perfect program. It's just about giving someone an idea that they do consistently. So if I'm like, hey guys, the COVID challenge is 100 squats with a 30 kilo sandbag and 100 strict presses with a 30 kilo sandbag and 100 rows and 100 whatevers, you know, someone is going to, everyone who does that throughout the duration of COVID, by the end of it will have done well over 6 million sandbag things. And do you think you're going to look like someone who's done that? Absolutely. Is the 100 challenge that I just made up the only way to do it? Probably not, but people need that. People need someone to just go, hey, this is the path, man. This is the, you know, and that's kind of I used to get really hung up on that as a coach with, you know, with the group programming. You know, I was like, oh, how do I make this program perfect for the group? And really I just couldn't, you know, like there's so many other facets to it, mindset, nutrition, but I don't think, you know, like, but now we've given you that. I think most people who were waiting for the gym had an excuse before because they were waiting and they didn't have any answers, but now you have an answer. You got to walk 10,000 steps. I would suggest adding like 30 kilos into a backpack because you burn 50% more calories. #ruck walking. The best.
yeah, giddy up.
I would suggest foam rolling your calves every day if you do that. And then doing Chongy's 100 COVID challenge.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Answers given.
Answers given.
Go forth and get shredded.
Yeah. It's just down to the accountability, really.
Crack your food.
Oh, giddy up.
I think when you do start doing the when you do get a little bit more in depth in your tracking, you do start understanding that certain food types are going to be much harder to achieve your goals. Like you can eat Korean fried chicken, but you can only eat it once a day. So make it the best day, the best 10 minutes of your day.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, you can only eat once a day, and that's all you can eat for that day.
so good.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's the beauty of tracking. It's not to fucking be a bane of your life that you have to do forever. It's just to bring awareness to what you're fucking putting in your mouth. That's all the tracking is about. Simple as.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Hit that
What do you reckon, Mr. Alex? Will we fucking wrap it at that for today?
Are we wrapping? Oh yeah, sweet. Absolutely. We can wrap up there.
Yeah, no,
good.
we'll leave it.
We've just given people the answer to getting shredded during COVID.
Yeah, it is, and it's very simple, but
if you do, okay, and furthermore, like I think everyone's missing weight and stuff at the moment. So if you are missing weight, well, everyone's like, oh, go buy a sandbag. You don't even need to buy a sandbag. Everyone's got that real shitty backpack that they haven't used for the last 20 years. Just, Osprey backpacks, by the way, are epic. They're so strong. But you just go to Bowen's or you go to Bunnings and you just order, wash sand, $8 for 20 kilos. You don't have to buy, like heavy weights from anywhere. Just, fill up a backpack bag that, you backpack around Europe with. Fill it up with sand because you're probably never going to use it again. And, use it to get strong,
Shit, yeah.
It's got handles, it's got, and guess what? It can get heavier, you can just add, it's like pre-workout, just have 2 more scoops every single time. Just add 2 more scoops of sand and you'll just get stronger and fitter. Like, it's this idea I've been kind of playing with is, I almost want to, there's a temptation for me to kind of do an online program that's like about sandbags.
Do it.
Yeah. And it's
Do it.
fun. Sandbags are fun. And you just keep adding 2 scoops every week. You just add 2 scoops.
Fucking, you've heard it here first, folks. Alex Cheong's fucking sandbag challenge.
Sandfit.
Sandfit. Yeah, man.
Hashtag 2 more scoops.
Yeah. Hey, it'll work. It'll work. So do it.
Do it.
Happy days. Do it.
Sick, man. Well, thank you for the podcast again.
Giddy up. Oh, a lot more to come, folks. This is our only
legit sandbags. Oh, okay. Sorry. I bought a canvas sandbag from 4-wheel drive, and I thought, just because I was going to use 20 kilo, it was just a light 20 kilo sandbag. We shredded that thing in a session. It broke. So, highly recommend that you go to manterfitness.com.au and buy the sandbags there because.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, for trying to buy cheap sandbags.
Yeah.
But honestly, those sandbags are worth their cost, man. They are they're indestructible.
They're the tits. Yeah, I've got a fucking shitload of them at my gym, and we use them when we were open on a fucking daily basis, and they are bulletproof. Fucking bulletproof.
Yeah, dude, they're legit. I was like, oh, I just want a 30 kilo one because I don't want to buy but fuck, I've already shredded this sandbag that cost me $30. It was a canvas bag, so I would highly recommend that you just spend. Don't be cheap like me, and spend the additional
bit extra.
One.
Yeah.
2 more scoops.
2 more scoops. All right, 2 scoops. Okay, boys and germs, that's it for this. I was going to say Jack and Juicy. The Crack Pit Part 3. Over and under.